This is ClamAV GUI, a working ClamAV wrapper that makes the ClamAV Antivirus look like the professional antivirus and work exactly like ClamAV. And if I run the scan,
later,
in this case, it returns no threats detected. I think developing such GUI is easy, until it is not. Let me show you how I built this GUI and why I built that. One of those computers I have uses Windows 10, which is one of my favorite Windows versions. The problem starts when Windows 10 reached its end of support date, October 14, 2025. The operating system will never be deleted on the exact same date, but Windows 10 will become less and less secure until it becomes completely vulnerable to hackers. I am trying to build my own security stack just to protect the Windows 10 PC from future threats.
Cut. ArsenTech, why not upgrade to Windows 11?
Because my PC doesn't currently meet the minimum system specs to run and install Windows 11, and the missing spec here is the TPM requirement.
Okay, why not use commercial antivirus software like Avast or Malwarebytes?
Because of some concerns like paywalls and subscriptions.
Do you want to rely on a decentralized layered security stack?
Of course, to harden my Windows 10 PC.
Long-term sustainability remains uncertain because of constraints.
What? And that's why I'm building the ClamAV GUI. I've made some icons and logo marks for my ClamAV wrapper. I have created 3 variants: the blue icon, green icon, and finally the red icon. I used to make the red icon as a default icon until I realized that the red icon will look too hostile, so I switched it to the blue icon. I am using Tauri to create the GUI. Okay, it's now built. Welcome to Tauri plus React. Enter a name. Hello, you have been greeted from Rust. The React router works on Tauri. Let's try installing the shadcn UI. Okay, the sidebar looks empty. Sidebar heading is the logo itself. The settings link is under the sidebar. Now it looks like a link. It failed to resolve import app.css from components layout.tsx. Ah, I know why. This is the default logo mark of the ClamAV GUI. The entire app logo is once again that red ClamAV logo. It doesn't look different. Okay, it changed. npm run Tauri dev. Exit successfully. What the heck? The problem is fixed because I have installed C++ related things on Visual Studio Community 2026. The GUI is launched with the new logo. That's great. The sidebar alignment is good. Oh, it's flexible. Yeah, that's flexible. If I set it to save, it says you are safe. If I set the indicator to alert, it shows the device is vulnerable. If I set the type to warning, some protection settings are disabled. That's good. And what about these items? Oh, this one lacks responsive UX. Here the text is large, here the text is small, but in here the text is a little bit small. This is the early sketch of the overview page, and this is the final version of the overview page. This is the sidebar according to the early sketch, and this is the finished sidebar. It looks good. Icon here is visible. Here I created the ClamAV GUI about page with the logo, the version, a little amount of information. This is the quality page if some items are detected. This is the quality page if there are no quarantined threads. The quality page here is complete, but what about the actions? I've made the actions drop down menu. Here is what the quality page looks like on the early sketch. Here is what it looks like in a finished state. The next UI to make is the scan page. This is the current scan status with a log over here. This is what will happen if a scanner completed, resulting in no items detected. I have created the scan completion page. Here is what the scan menu looks like if it's not chosen. That doesn't fit very well. Now it fits. The same goes to the about page. It also fits. I have added some few things under the device's safe text. I have added some new items. Now these rectangles will serve a purpose. Here is what the oops no ClamAV found page will look like. Okay, then oh shit! That event just caused the Tauri to crash, oh my... Finally the function is fixed. I don't know Rust, so that's why I use vibe coding. If I click on check availability, it brings it to the ClamAV UI's main page. That's okay, that's expected, but... Okay, it returns to the main ClamAV page, but yeah, that thing just happened. That fixed. That's because it is cached. Okay, I have created a splash screen where I include the logo mark and the loading state. The splash screen will appear. And yeah, the version is flashing. Let's fix that bug as well. The version is now cached. And it's right here. If I clean anything, it's still cached. At least I made these options work. And that's good. Let's work on the statistics page. The design will be different this time, unlike the early sketch I made. The CPU activity metric goes wobbly wiggly. Oh my god. The last 60 seconds metric doesn't fit here. Let's see what I got here. Oh sh. There we go. I have finished the parts of the stats page. It breaks the operating system, the host name beside the device information, the CPU activity, the memory part, and the hard drive. The another part of the stats page includes the line chart, the bar chart, and the pie chart. I have finished the stats page UI, but only the CPU activity, memory, and hard drive charts are working. The device information part is also functional, but the scan activity, file types, scan types, virus types, and overall threads are not functional. Since I have finished the statistics page, now let's work on the history page. That table is what I want, alongside the refresh, clear history, and export history. This is how the scheduler works, and it is great. I have designed the definition updater page, which in this case shows update required. It shows up to date if it is not outdated. The log part is similar in the scan page, and it's also similar inside the definition updater page. Now I finished the UI design of the ClamAV GUI. Now all of the quick access items are accessible. I have created constants, types and helpers for clarity. Okay, that's good. I have added a spinner here and the scan type. If I choose main scan, it says main scan. If I choose full scan, it brings full scan. That's good. Are you sure to stop the full scan process? Okay, if I click on main scan, it will immediately bring it to the main scan. The quick access to different types of scans work. I've upgraded the entire scan process UI, which is good. It's time to link ClamScan into the scan page. Oh, it loads! This means the ClamAV itself is working, but I should have applied this exact thing inside the GUI. Let's click on the main scan and we got nothing. There we go. It logs anything. The start time is now set. The findings stat is now set also. Okay, that duration stopwatch is what I want. Okay, that's good.
Later.
It works, but one helper function with shared logic. The duration is not working, so it's time to remove the duration from the scan process.
A few inches later.
Okay, it says no items detected, duration 17 seconds. That's great. Oh my god, the logging. Okay, I got a bug here. I got a bug. If I stop that scan and wait for it.
Later.
It is not finished. What happened? Yeah, it brings the no items detected. Oh, it. You're very close, but they are too critical. Do this, do that. Shut the f. You're not crazy. This is. Oh, shit. And yeah, that GUI is crashed. In it. And if I stop that scan immediately, the process with PID has been terminated. That's good. PID based cancellation. That's exactly what I wanted. Let's start the full scan. The clamp scan process will appear right here. But if I click stop the scan. Oh my. If I stop the clamp scan process. And yeah, it is gone. It is gone. That's what I want. Let's try full scan from that one. It launches the okay, it's now counting. It's now counting how many files are scanned. That's good. Okay, it starts the one clamp scan right here. That's good. If I choose a full scan, it starts the one clamp scan process. Since ClamAV doesn't have a process to count the files, I use the estimated files option, and if I click on main scan.
A few moments later.
Okay, that's good. And what about the full scan? It will still count the estimated files. It will be different. It now says what files are 356 files scanned. I refactored it. The difference is I cannot even set the duration. Yeah, this is what I want. The scan page is working on the main scan process and on the full scan process. Soon I will implement the custom scan and file scan process. It says choose a folder path if I want to choose custom scan, choose a file path if I want to choose a file scan. If I click on choose a folder path and then I choose this folder, it says that I have a folder, but not right here. For example, if I choose ClamAV, okay, that works. If I choose a file, for example, that works. I can start scanning when I choose main scan or full scan. Oh. Okay, that works, by the way. Let's choose a custom scan, but in this case, let's choose the test folder to see if I have any types of detections.
Later.
Oh, it shows no items detected. It detected all of the free threads. Nice job, ClamAV. It detects the file and it immediately finishes the scan. It detected 9 threads. That's good. And there we go. It is now doing a custom scan directly from the overview page. 9 threads require attention, and all of these are with test eCar HDB1. Finally, I have added the custom scan and file scan features. Oh my god! Unexpected application error, unexpected. There we go. Every single scan type is functional. Like on this quick access items, I made the scan types interactive. It says update required, last updated 3 months, okay.
1 eternity later.
There we go! The logs are here. It says less than a minute, there we go. I have implemented a simple UI. When definitions are outdated, it will show the message definitions are older than 7 days, update immediately. And definition status outdated. If I set the definition status to loading, it says definitions loading. We have a working definitions updater. I finally finished the definition updater page.
Meanwhile,
It now writes eCar test signature. That's great. Okay, the backend is incomplete. The argument doesn't match it at backend, that's why. It's 24. There we go. And no items detected, that's good. And with that, I have configured the custom scan to apply to multiple folders. Thread quarantined, there we go. Thread has been quarantined, okay, there we go. And if it is quarantined, let's disable that, okay.
later.
It's now disabled. That's good. And if I delete the quarantine, it brings no quarantined threads. Failed to restore. What's the problem? The system cannot move the file to a different disk drive. Oh, the same rename thing. File restored from quarantine, and that file is right here.
Later.
Something's wrong. Oh yeah, that's good. Opening containing folder is impossible. I should either restore the file or deleting it. It removes from quarantine and restores it to the original location. It is deleted. Oh, the quarantine counter is static. Let's quarantine it. Let's remove that badge from now on because I will have a different way to implement that count. It says deleted and it is deleted. If it is resolved, all of these actions are disabled. We got 10 threads. Let's quarantine this, that. Let's delete this. If I check mark as safe, thread marked as safe, open containing folder, it opens the containing folder. Moving the thread to quarantine works, marking as safe works from now, deleting thread works. There are some quarantined threads, I can restore that file, and I can permanently delete from the quarantine. The entire quarantine page works, as expected. If I quarantine every single of them, it says all threads quarantined. Let's resolve by marking everything safe. It says thread marked as safe. If I click on delete all, delete. It's now deleted and it is not in there. This is done individually. This will restore all threads all in one. All threads restored and it is back. If I delete it, it is not in quarantine and it is not in downloads also. I have successfully made the quarantized page and finished the scan page. Here is what the status badge looks like with error, success and warning badges. Once it's ready, I will do the statistics page, which is based on many types of JSON stats. Why should I render this if I have a cell renderer? It is still the same code, but it's more clean. To add the separate cell parameter, then just render it like it's a spaghetti code. We got the clean table cell. From now on it says no results found. What the heck is this? What the heck is this? The idea is correct, but the code isn't. I suck at Rust. The scan failed because I stopped the scan. It still says it's detected, but if I go to history here, okay, it still says scan failed. Scan failed due to an internal error, exit code number 2. Scan completed successfully, 3 threads found, okay.
Later.
Scan completed successfully, no threads found. Some files couldn't be scanned due to access restrictions. There we go.
Later.
Oh, it's still right, 0. Scan completed successfully, exit code 0, that's good. Threats were detected, exit code 1. I can finally log the entire thing. Definitions update started, ClamAV database update has been started, definitions are already up to date. Definitions are up to date, exit code 0. It says it was moved to quarantine, that's good. It refreshes the entire content inside the quarantine. This was restored from quarantine, success. And inside here, it was deleted. The file was deleted. The file was deleted. That's good. It is all logged. Oh my god. Why does the GUI work so goofy? The refresh button works. Refresh will refresh, but these buttons do nothing from now on. Alongside these buttons also. It exported a CSV, it looks like this. History.json. What the heck? It is now exported as JSON. There we go. About the no ClamAV found page, I changed the title to ClamAV is not installed. That no ClamAV found page is too simplified. But if I set the step to 1, what the heck? Step +1 +1. Or step by step minus like step by like -1. Okay. What the actual f? Oh my god, we got the wrong condition.
Later.
Now I can go back to the I can finally go back. This is what it looks like on the full screen, even though it didn't fill gaps. At least justify evenly is honestly good. That UI design of the ClamAV is not installed is good. Okay, now it sees the visual status. If I paste it right here, there we go. I have made a reusable component for command snippet block. Oh my god. Okay, now it's here. Inside the windows, I set the steps where it should open the command prompt, then type where clamscan once it returns the path. But for the Linux, it will be different. I created the recommended Linux commands to fill the gaps. Okay, that's the Windows setup, but the Linux setup is open the preferred terminal, then type this. I have updated the oops ClamAV is not installed page. And it works as expected. And yet the recent change addresses the issues like how to add ClamAV to the path. I didn't saw that in the ClamAV installer. The status here is sortable. Making a status sortable is not what I want. Success filters the success, warning here filters the warning, and error here filters the error. If I select all, it shows all of the types. There we go! At least I can toggle some columns. entry acknowledged, but it should update. If I refresh it, it was acknowledged, but it should be refreshed immediately. Marking it as acknowledged is good.
Later.
There we go. There we go. It's disabled. Clear history. Okay, there is no history item. But if I have one action, what's the reason behind this drop down? This is better and faster than just opening the drop down. If I clear all entries, it will clear the history, but it will gray out other functions. Clear acknowledged. What the heck? It clears the acknowledged only, but if I refresh it, it is back. Oh, IDA-based things work. Let me know in the comments if I want to set the thread quarantine status to either success or warning, so I can update it later. There we go. It's all formatted like this. If I quarantine them one by one, it creates a separate quarantine logs, but if I choose quarantine, oh, it is moved right here. There we go. That is logging implemented correctly. How do I show these logs?
So much later that the old narrator got tired of waiting and they had to hire a new one.
I will remove the logs part instead. Okay, it is back. Edit here. I got category null, 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 null. If I click on reveal log file, it reveals the log. Reveal log file works. But what about the view log? Okay, it is visible. It views the log instantly, but still I can use the mark as acknowledged checkbox like this. This is what it looks like during the refreshing state. This is what it looks like on the normal state. This of course is the data. We got nothing here, but we got 2 quarantined deleted. I fetched this, that's oh now it works. Okay, there we go. It's all colored. Now I can safely remove the chart data file. The refresh stats work. I have a bug because it counts threads as 1. Okay, there we go. Quarantined, free, unresolved. File deletion failed. Okay. Now it is correct. Unresolved 0, resolved 5. This is also correct. Since the backend is done, now I will finish with a front end. In this case, it shows no data yet. I finally finished the statistics page with somewhat correct statistics. Let me know in the comments if the statistics page data should be improved alongside the UI.
The next day.
I was about starting to develop the version 0.3, which is still part of a pre-release, until I got so many bug reports like, is it normal that the UI is laggy and unresponsive? Scans just stop after a few scans and scan nothing, just wanted to let you know. And when I press full scan or smart scan, it scans for a few seconds, then for a split second. A terminal opens and then it ends. I tested, but I see too much crash and too much bugs. Okay. What I got here is the terminal flash. And if I click on main scan, the terminal opens. Since I have 64 GB of RAM, that change is not visible, but when I tried the same thing on a laptop which has over 60 GB of RAM, it just crashed. It just slowed down. For the front end, I split many heavy components into lazy imports, and I added the splash screen as a fallback loader. But for the backend, I used vibe coding, then I carefully reviewed the AI generated code and used it. I moved helpers into the separate code. Back then it was one index.js, but now it splits many logic into separate JavaScript files. Here I got the same app, but it works very fast. There are no flashing command prompts that flashes the clamav-gui command. It says no items detected, but under 9 seconds, which is good. The quarantine fetched very fast. Even refreshing feels fast. Even history fetching feels fast. All of that has been updated. All without flashing the command prompt, so the approach is fixed. I tried that new approach by clicking on the main scan and constantly switching windows to see what will happen next. Nothing happens, nothing froze. I tested that optimized GUI on the laptop that has 60 GB of RAM and it works like a charm. I decided to abolish the SHA2 approach and use the UUID approach, which is cleaner. I created a silent command, which is a function that does the command but without opening the window. It's still good. Right now these actions won't work. I got weekly right here and I can just spam it. But with the form reset command like this, it brings an invalid option. It brings the interval should be either daily, weekly or monthly. Or even better, the interval is required. Okay, that's good. But if I set it to Monday, it's set to 26, so okay. I forgot to change the default value to value, oh my god. And the form itself is now controlled, since I don't have any uncontrolled bullshit. This approach is not only correct, it's actually cleaner and more robust. Nice. I updated the front-end logic of the scheduler form and the scheduler table. Okay, if I start ClamAV GUI scan main for example, instead of type something, let's add a new route. We got this functional scan page, but if I click on main scan then click on start scanning, okay, it prepares the scan.
Much later.
Okay, why does it still say preparing? It finishes, there we go. It says no items detected, back to the overview. Then full scan, okay, although full scan.
Bruh.
It brings the scan location, which is good. If I stop this, oh sh. Okay, if I stop the scan, oh sh. It works. I got the type right here. Let's exclude it. It brings immediately into the scan page. There we go. This means the flags work, but I'm stuck in this loop.
Later.
Oh, here it doesn't work. Oh my god, the exit is not working. Although it is good, there we go. It works. I cannot exit the app. Use startup scan must be used inside startup scan provider. Oh my god. It immediately launches into the main scan type, but if I click stop the scan, it immediately closes both the GUI and the clam scan process itself. There we go. This like this. Invalid argument days for command schedule task. Schedule something. It's scheduled. There we go. Now I have some scheduled active tasks. And it says the data right here. No worries, I will just remove the job anyways. There we go, there are no new jobs. Okay, there we go. Now it has a log ID, and there we go. Here it's accessible, so if I click on view logs, failed to load the log. Okay. It is created, there we go. It is created. The logs here work as expected. Okay, it runs the ClamAV GUI command.
Meanwhile.
Scan now. What happened? But if I try ClamAV GUI scan May for example, it is successful. I finally made a solution for that popping up command. I created a resolve command function that resolves the command before executing it. I have implemented the headless scan function if it is scheduled. Run the scan job. Oh.
Much later.
Okay, let's remove the job like this. Oh, shut the f. Okay, it says scan job triggered, but in this case, it just triggers the silent scan. I tried to delete the job, but I forgot to update this entire thing. Clear jobs. Scheduled scan job cleared. Although the schedule, okay. Clear jobs is grayed out. Schedule. Okay, it is scheduling. There we go. It is now visually great. Let's schedule it randomly. Oh my god, the parameter is... What the What the heck? What do you mean? November 30th, 1999. Last scan invalid date. What do you mean invalid date? Okay.
Much later.
It returns this, then no. It formats like this and like this. There we go. Oh, it is here, but I can clear the jobs. The stats is often the largest with 441 kilobytes. The stats itself is still the largest, but at least I divided every single chart. I only implemented the Windows, but if you are a Linux developer and you know Rust, make sure to read the contributing.md and add the Linux functionality inside all of these commands. And the version 1 of the ClamAV GUI comes in some day inside February. The scheduler page works, and now I am working on version 0.3.1. This is the About section, and the credits, of course. Core technologies, interface and platform, inspiration and community, and the special things. It's tested and reported directly from my YouTube channel, Coding with ArsenTech. That's why I include it in here. I still cannot go into the link. What the f just happened? Oh my god. Open URL isn't allowed. Oh my... What? I recently... Oh, okay. I found out why. The URL was invalid. That's why. Only allow this. Which it works. It says not allowed to open google.com because I haven't added google.com into the allow list. If I set to exactly the same link as on here, it opens because that mentioned URL is in the allow list. I guess the open URL works way better than the target blank. And yeah, ChatGPT is sometimes giving complex solutions over a simple problem. Yes, simple problems need simple solutions, not complex bullshit. This is what the final credit section looks like. Now the credits is more and more detailed. And yeah, I like detailed credit section.
Later.
That fits very well. Overview page is complete. It's not complete because I haven't updated the last scan. I got an error. Use... Oh my god, what the f just happened? What the f... And yeah, it works. The license detected was the GPL free license. Plus, I finished the license part. I will make the settings with tabs, but not as a separate page of the React router. I can set to dark theme, the light theme, and the system. We have a problem. It breaks the dark mode version of this logo. There we go.
Later.
It changes everything to the dark mode. Okay. Congratulations. Everything does not work. It instantly changed the theme of the GUI. That is good. Although the contrast between them is not so good. This is what it looks like on the dark mode. This is what it looks like on the light mode. The logo works like a charm, but not this. Now the entire theme functionality works. If I set to light, it is back to once again the previous design. Here's what the overview page looks like in the dark mode. Here's what the scan page looks like in the dark mode. Nice. I have finally set up the dark mode. Let's create a skeleton loader. This is the skeleton loader of the themes page. I created the skeleton loading of the entire overview page. There we go. The skeleton loading of the stats page is finished. Okay, the green color appears right here. If I choose rows, it looks like this. So let's set it to... Oh my god, what happened? Okay, the logo is also changing. Shut the f... The logo changes once I change a theme. And yeah, it works in the dark mode also. This is slightly similar to red, but not completely red. Because if I use the red theme of the CN UI, I might confuse. Cause the red button is the same color as the destructive color. The primary is the same, the destructive is same. That's why I chose the rose theme. Break. Hey, okay, break all. Here's what the loader looks like on the main scan, on the full scan, and on the custom scan. I have created custom scan options inside settings. Some of these change scan behavior in risky ways. It is now included scan settings, custom scan options, advanced custom scan options. There we go. It is now separate and the general settings. Okay, it says last scan never, but if I start the scan,
Later.
it says less than 5 seconds ago. The definitions are set, the last scan is set. I removed the statistics and scheduler from the quick access because it's accessible from the sidebar. Let's do the test once again when I launch the custom scan. Target the desktop for example and move it. There we go, it says no items detected and that's okay. Less than 5 seconds ago. There we go. I also introduced the date format. Here's what the date looks like in the European format. This is what it looks like on the American format. And here is what it looks like on the international format. I have introduced the developer mode. If I enable that option, you will see the entry ID. You will see the log ID also. Perfect for developers. If I set it to true and start the base scan, okay, then stop it. It shows, are you sure to stop the base scan process? If I disable that option, as you guys can see, it immediately stops the scan process. Okay, that is good. At least the settings tab is working. But I hate this scroll bar design. Okay, it works. There we go. Okay, I will take that design. Okay, it loads. There we go. Okay, let's see which options should I add. Finally, I somehow made these options, but some of these parts don't work. Here it works. Advanced scan options and other options derived from ClamAV. At least these input options work, only if passed explicitly, like this, like that. Okay, okay. What the heck?
Later.
Nice. This icon design is good. The language icon is here, the date format icon is here. Oh my god! Failed to fetch dynamically imported module. What the heck? What the f just happened? Oh my god. Index.ts just returned 404. Scan settings, file system, output, detection, file types, limits, and performance. There we go. And inside the nice. Soon I will implement notifications and also the system tray. After implementing the skeleton loading and lazy loading on some components and pages, everything now looks great. There we go. and if I combine the optimization of the backend, it might look great. Here, it's all good. Here I got these options. If the key is not advanced, it loads the data correctly. There we go. And as you guys can see, code splitting makes my app feel smooth. It is running on the 60GB memory. I have completely finished the UI of the scan page. The advanced one works only on the developer mode, but the rest of these is just UI design. I have implemented skeleton loading. There we go. ClamAV is inactive. Please start the ClamAV to activate the real-time protection. And these buttons, of course. Like this, the ClamAV part is finished. The exclusions part is now ready. "100 lines, 500, 1000, 1500. I added the logs and UI section. It is implemented inside the general settings. Okay, let's try auto scroll text. Here it automatically scrolls contents. Oh. I don't think that will work. Ooh. That logging part is satisfying. That is satisfying. There we go. Nice! I finally implemented the auto scroll text feature, which makes logs satisfying. Let's watch the most satisfying part, the logs. Oh yeah, it's all satisfying. There we go. It feels like a real log. If I set the auto scroll text to false, yes, it doesn't scroll, even though scanning here added multiple entries. There we go, these settings are now working as expected. Okay, I created a UI for the scheduler part, including notifications. Here is the loader for this element and the loader for this element. Here it says definitions are older than 7 days, update immediately. Oh, last updated 3 days ago.
Much later.
Finally, the definitions are up to date. If I go to the scheduler page and go back, it immediately returns to the save settings page. There we go. Nice. Oh, the space Y is too squashed. I changed the space Y for it's perfect. There we go. I changed the contents inside the scheduler and okay, it looks good. I have added the behavior option inside the advanced GUI options. Okay, that is good. I added the real-time protection settings just to finish the part of UI. Oh my god, that's too huge. Okay, it fixed. Let's set the English, for example. Oh, it's saved as English. Of course, in the local storage, that's what I want. I have cleaned the local storage and reset some settings. Oh my... Oh, why doesn't it work? Ah, it's missing the key. Oh my... Oh, it works. There we go, it works. Here it says hi everyone in English. Here it says Barev Bolorin. And here it says Всем привет. The language switch works. Of course it is correct. Finally, I initialized the internationalization. It looks good when each language has a native name. English is the original source, while the Armenian and Russian will be the translation sources. What if I lazy load this entire process? The lazy loading works on the languages because sometimes that component can be a heavy component. Let's define defaults now, even if backend isn't ready. Okay, if I refresh it, what the... Okay. Auto startup scan is true, so let's fetch it. Yeah, it's true. If I disable it, it sets the data to false. I can finally set the data. I have finally connected the Tauri store into here to avoid any types of clutter inside the local storage. It fetches back. Here, notifications, okay, works, but I think that is part of a cache, so we better remove that. We are in here, the real time is true. Now I can set these values to false. No folder exclusions yet, no POA category exclusions yet. Finally, I finally added a button right here. And there we go, it is still updated. I finally added a functionality where I type this, add it. Okay, it works. Or I can browse it, like this. It works. Now I can safely write the logic. Okay, let's try this. That works. That functionality works. I created a one universal action that removes exclusions. So if I click on this and remove, it instantly removes an exclusion. It loads. There we go. It works like this. In the future I will add the prompt on the real-time protection also. But I finished the exclusions part. Now if I add save for example and refresh it, it returns a save. I can use that setting inside the backend. What the you need? Oh my god, I cannot use the default value. All I need here is to fix implementation. It's all resolved. Oh my god, how the should I play sound to detect? Oh what just happened? These options were oh my god, why does it? Oh my god. Try changing this file types. What the if you want to use vibe coding, make sure to review the code, otherwise the monstrosity will happen. Still doesn't fit. Okay, recursive is true. Oh, that is just an old change. Actually, it works. But on default profile. I guess the profile based settings is way better than pouring all into one setting. If I change the profile and activate one of those settings, there we go, it is all good. Let's add the debug option for example. Okay, that works, there we go, that is what I want. Removing the profile based settings was a mistake, so I reverted it. It might check once it's older than 7 days. What if I want to change the scan options, just to change the advanced scan options? All I did was to go to scan option and change the active profile. That fixed much of the issues. But if I want to change the advanced scan options, all I need is to go to the scan page and just change the active profile. And I shall do this every time. Now I can change the active scan profile all without going to the scan option and change it. I added the active scan profile to here. I cannot change some of these values, but for the advanced one I can if I just only use this, will it work? That's expected that it doesn't work. It visually works. In here it doesn't work. It works. It works, there we go. I can finally set the custom scan profile all without going to the scan option and change it. Now it represents these loaders as these options. Now it fixed, and it's not only on here, it's also right here, so there we go. And inside the custom scan, I can change the crossfs to false, but here profiles are changing. But inside the file scan, crossfs is not available. I can only scan PDF files, HTML files, and archives. Every single of these options will be finished, but the one strange bottleneck will be the ClamAV status. ClamD is inactive, but if I start it,
Later.
cannot open, parse the config file. Oh, I hope I can start the ClamD configuration. It is still inactive. Cannot initialize the internal logger, what the heck? Unrecognized option shut down. Oh my god, the file name, directory name, or volume label syntax is incorrect. System error 123. That is the problem. And I hope it... The service name is invalid. Oh my god, what is the service name of ClamD? I added the ClamD service control is not available on Windows. I added an argument, This is the UI on Linux, where the ClamD is available. This is the UI on Windows, where ClamD isn't available. But the question remains unsolved.
So much later that the old narrator got tired of waiting and they had to hire a new one.
Okay, I just skipped that one bottleneck. But for Windows, I will use the file scan, but it will scan the recent file. The behavior setting will be applied only on real-time protection. Turn off the real-time scan, it might say the device is vulnerable. Turn on the real-time scan, it might say the device is safe. There we go, I added the real-time scan. This is the tray icon, it just says quit. This is a test, notified from Windows PowerShell. Okay, that doesn't work. Oh, I can use different directories. There we go. I can finally put it right here. I will mostly use these paths. I have finalized the fetch paths option. Okay, I think the main scan may take a while. As you guys can see, it easily shows 200 out of 401.1k. That's the format number function doing its job. Scan started. The main scan has been started. Scan finished. No threads were found. There we go. Oh. Scan finished. No threads were found. And it's only one time. I guess adding that functionality helps. The real-time scan... Okay, shut up. Shut up! And in this case, I will remove the auto detection option because it's important to have the detection notification enabled.
A few moments later.
Let's try... Oh my god, what are these... Let's do the antivirus test on this ClamAV GUI in the ArsenTech style. Here comes the test. I am extracting that test file and let's see if the GUI detects it.
Much later.
And I think it doesn't work. I will extract the ecar.zip file while the ClamAV GUI's real-time scan is on. Let's see what happens here. Okay, ecar.com exists and I think the notifications will be
Later.
threat detected! Yeah! There we go! Malware detected in the specific file. Here is how it works behind the scenes. If I extract the file, the clam scan process has been started in the background. Once it's finished, the threat detected message will appear. Once that test file was detected as just a test file. Yes! Yes! Let's deduplicate notifications. Let's do the ClamAV GUI antivirus test in an ArsenTech style. Here comes the second test. I will extract that file once again while the ClamAV GUI's real-time scan is on. Let's do this. It starts the clam scan process and then...
Much later.
Threat detected, okay, but I think these icons and sounds may not work. Okay. Here I am starting the another test. I am extracting that test signature zip file while the ClamAV GUI's real-time scan is on. Let's do this. The class scan process has been started. Threat detected, but not only that, the threat has been moved into quarantine. There we go. If I, for example, disable the real-time protection and try to extract it. In this case, the real-time protection is off. All I did here was to turn on the real-time protection back, scan on that file once again, scan started, I know.
Later.
Threat detected, oh my god, okay, I will stop the scan from now on. I have successfully made the real-time scan option. I set the behavior to safe, so if I extract the file again.
Later.
Threat detected, oh, threat blocked. Threat detected, safe behavior works. Let's set the behavior to strict.
So much later that the old narrator got tired of waiting and they had to hire a new one.
Threat blocked. Here it is in quarantine. I will set it to balanced because the balanced protection is the best. After downloading it, the ClamAV scan process has been triggered. This is the real-time scan process. And the second time it targets on that zip file. Threat blocked. There we go. Let's go. And it is based in behavior. The behavior-based protection is working. Now let's try the same on the production-ready version. Okay, the threat blocked. The real-time protection works. Threat blocked. There we go. And if I change the safe.
Later.
Threat blocked. But it needs a state-based updater.
The next day.
I have finally implemented another setting, which is called the Enable Scheduler UI. Even though the scheduler is disabled, I can view some logs because the logs are located inside the history route. If I click on Enable Scheduler UI, I cannot see the change. All I need is to refresh it. Oh yes! I made the settings into a context-based component and yep, it works. It updates the settings real time. Okay, I'm too skeptical about that. That's what I want. I can finally finish rest of the settings. Thanks to the new approach of converting the entire front-end settings from the separate use settings hook into the settings provider. Making settings a source of truth is a better approach. I removed the fetch paths function to fetch paths from the backend. Passing the app path works right here. That's a new problem. It brings only 299,000 files scanned. Yeah, back then it was 400,000 files scanned because I included configurations. This time it starts the main scan. There we go. And yeah, the full scan has been started.
Later.
Only targeting the specific file. Okay, nice. I just optimized the scan page. If I click on the system tray, then about ClamAV GUI, it moves to the about page. And since it works, I can add many events as soon as possible. It says start main scan, full scan, custom scan, file scan, but that separator is useless. Well, nope. Start main scan, it starts the main scan. Start full scan, it starts the full scan. There we go. If I click on the system tray, scan, start file scan. If I cancel it, nothing happens. Let's click on the random file, open it. It opens the file scan with the specified path. Let's try testing the custom scan option inside the system tray.
Much later.
Okay! The custom scan directly from the system tray works. If I click on Update, Definitions, it moves into the definition updater, where I can update the database from ClamAV. If I click on here, it closes the window, but not the app itself, because I can restore that by clicking on here, open the GUI. That is it. Oh my god, thread blocked, even though the ClamAV GUI is minimized. That's exactly what I want. Okay, so if I click on GUI settings, it really breaks into the GUI settings. There we go, it is far more organized. This is the new system tray menu. I added a tooltip. If I hover in here, it says ClamAV GUI is still running in the system tray. Okay, I am in a specific bottleneck where I want to generate the system tray. It is now rebuilt with the start main scan disabled. Even though rebuilding part works, the code here is too much.
Much later.
I decided to keep the system tray static like this. Either way, the system tray works. You can't fully customize icons plus sounds from Tauri's cross-platform notification API itself in version 2. I implemented the notification as best as I can, but customization inside that cross-platform Tauri app is hard. Oh my god.
Later.
The GUI here is natively started. The scan started. And okay, I will soon move the definition updater with its content into the settings alongside the about page. Oh my god, it's not responding. Okay, we got some of these options. I'm in a bottleneck because if I add the static right here, it brings this error.
A few moments later.
The good thing is it resolved by adding the default values as string. Okay, we got the argument like this: follow directory siblings, file siblings, algorithmic detection. The base scan arguments are now ready, and since it loads these arguments, I can now use that same code over the custom scan also, except the full scan. It brings recursive, follow directory siblings, algorithmic detection. It still says failed to play a sound. No worries, that is just an error which needs to be fixed. Oh my god, why is it recursive? I got algorithmic detection, heuristic alerts, scan PDF, HTML and archive. Yes, it prints without the scan archive argument. Hide rating makes it easier. It works. The custom scan options work as expected. The real-time scan is completely independent from the scan options. Directory exclusions, no folder exclusions yet. I might add Windows kits, for example. Main array isn't iterable. Oh yeah, I added an exclusion, for example. I want to convert it into an argument. I applied the new types of exclusions, but how should I get the exclusions?
Later.
I can finally get some of these values from Tauri plugin store backend. Exclude dir. There we go. I got this. Exclude directory this, that. Oh my god. Why did they decide to make it like this? That exclusion path is absolutely valid, and the backend exclusion is what I want. If I change it a little bit and refresh it, it's now referenced to the backend. What the heck just happened? The problem here is this. If it is a scan route, render this, but another problem here is if I click on it, it just disappears. If I stop that I'm in a known f***ing error. if I start the scan here, it automatically detects that, oh my god, that is the problematic issue. Oh my god, I cannot implement it. The idea here is scrapped. Well, I'm gonna scrap that crap anyways, because implementing such settings are too hard for me. Let's only include exclusions as a backend setting plus the scam profiles, because exclusions already is finished. I have merged the scheduler settings into general settings. There we go, directory exclusions is inside the scan settings page. Logs are here. I reorganized the settings page. I have finished the settings page, but I got one more update. The about ClamAV GUI will stay right here. Updates. Updates should move into the settings. Yes, it matches. I moved the definition updater right here. Click on here, it works. The same will happen if you click on the system tray and click on update. It moves to the same page. It will update the database.
A few minutes later.
There we go, it's up to date. But to view the logs, you should go to history, click on here, view log. You should see the log right here. And the tab overall looks better. If I want to implement the app updater, I will implement it right under the definitions updater. I have completely finished the settings page. What do you mean window icon cannot be used as JS6 element? Okay, I have created the universal icon that defines the app icon based on which operating system I use. Okay, I got the GUI update section. Oh my god, I got an error on back also. What happened? A public key has been found, but no private key. Okay, there we go. It's working. It is working. Ubuntu failed updating the fragment. In macOS, it doesn't work also with the same error. On Ubuntu, it succeeded, but on macOS x86, 64 and the Windows, it isn't.
A few moments later.
Okay, there we go. It is uploaded. Yes! Yes! This is a success. There we go. The Ubuntu is ready. There we go.
One eternity later.
Okay, I got an error. GitHub releases requires a tag. Yes! Yes! I finally did it! In here, upload latest.json is skipped. Okay, these entries are supposed to install on specific platforms. No new updates are available. Couldn't fetch the valid release JSON from the remote. Failed to check for updates. Make sure to try again later. Oh, what I got here. Failed to start real-time scan, invalid type map. And I think that error is from frontend. It returns an array. Okay, that's more likely an issue from the backend. Aha, okay, we got it. The enum is all uppercase, that's why. Oh my god, I'm in a huge bottleneck of fixing this.
A lot of boring math later.
Oh my god! Let's just ignore all of these. 30 JSON for value. Value clone! But your Rust expects exactly like this, so... Yeah, they picked the wrong path. The error is gone. Nice. Oh, I should add another one. Failed to clear history. Oh my god. Use all are acknowledged. All errors cleared. Oh. If I refresh that, there we go. All of these errors are cleared. And the real-time scan is now started, monitoring 10 paths. Here I declared 5 statuses. Pending shows like this. Needs update. Here it shows checking status, updating the GUI. Nice. The GUI has been updated. It relaunches the app once I click on relaunch app. Failed to fetch dynamically imported module. That's because I just turned off the development server. Yeah, that's why. The relaunching here works. Failed to check for updates. Failed to update the GUI. But for the needs update part. Notes, where it opens the pop-up showing the notes of this update. I'm gonna pass 600 pixels like this. I created a pop-up where on smaller screen version it looks like a complete Nice! But in here I'm gonna check if children exists. It is now more compact. Add an exclusion. Yeah, it looks very good. MDX.js React is optimized. Unexpected token default. I hope this will work. What? Invalid or unexpected token. Okay, the MDX approach does not work. Okay, I fixed it. Here is what the markdown components will look like. Why the heck do I need MDX components if I want to choose Tailwind typography?
Later.
Here is the optimized new version notes. No release notes available when it comes to no notes. And the update button, which updates the app. From now on, it does nothing. The GUI is up to date. There we go. This is the new Updater UI. From now on it prints failed to check for updates. And finally, I have the GUI Updater and Definitions Updater all in one place. Here I did the first part of the organization, making these components into reusable loader components and replacing it. Now it looks way more readable. I have moved every single functionality into the use GUI Updater. Now there is no partial type of states, but I have a lot of constants here. Finally, I have just finished some touches and optimization before version 1. The beta version of version 1 and the complete version 1 will include translations also, and after that I will release the version 1 as a complete version and I will ship it. All I left here is translations.
The next day.
I was about to translate the contents and release the version 1, but I got a problem. Still with version 1, scanning doesn't work. It says failed to start the scan. That is a serious bug. Main scan, there we go.
A little later.
Okay, it automatically starts the ClamAV scan process, but the problem is scanning doesn't work for me. I hope that display command will work. The display command. I think the error is not only showing the ClamAV scan path, but also resolving it. Except this ref is silent command. Let's start the invalid exclusions format expected array. I got new bugs. I created the danger zone UI and 2 options, clear settings data, reset settings data, is enough. Delete settings, restore defaults. I think that pop-up text is too cluttered. Honestly, leading tight is better. Okay, let's try restoring defaults. Settings restored to defaults. It is a success. I finally added the danger zone just to fix some errors. You must debate when resolution fails in side threads. Here it uses clam scan. I fixed one of those bottlenecks. But before that, let's try clamd scan. Add this. Will it work? Clamd scan. Depends on the clamd. Get ClamAV path is okay. The check availability function is way more cleaner function.
The next day.
It says scanning still doesn't work and I have it in the path. Yes. There is no scan failed yet. It says failed to play sounds and some files couldn't be scanned. I'm gonna remove that. And I'm gonna remove that also. At about the second bug, some files couldn't be scanned, which is the exit code number 2. Then I'm gonna clean every single setting. Okay, settings deleted successfully.
Much later.
Scan completed successfully. Exit code 0. Okay, the difference here is how it shows. Here it returns some files couldn't be scanned due to access restrictions. Aha! That is the error. Scan command not found. That's why ClamAV ignores this path. Okay, let's just change the permissions. I just started the change right here.
So much later that the old narrator got tired of waiting and they had to hire a new one.
It prints the error. Oh my god, I don't have a f***ing internet. Yeah, the internet speed depends on the region.
Many internet reconnections later.
There we go, the release has been updated. The files are also updated. Okay, I have updated the exit code logic. If there are other viruses found, it will show some files may not have been scanned. Otherwise, it will show the scan failed due to a ClamAV error. Well, there are nothing to clear. The language here is English, so I can just preview translations.
Many internet reconnections later.
Oh. The language is Russian. I just changed the English translation. Oh my. Here is what the GUI looks like in Russian, but the problem is, it sometimes doesn't fit the UI. I guess I might update the overview UI. The Russian translation fits better in here. Последнее сканирование. This is 41 minutes ago, which is still in English. Около 1 часа назад. Okay. This is what it looks like in Armenian. This is what it looks like on English and on Russian. Обзор сканирования карантин история Statistics. Обзор сканирования карантин история статистика планировщик настройки приложения ClamAV GUI. Overview page is complete, but not the scan page. The scan type is automatically translated into Russian. Here in Russian is this. In Armenian, it looks completely different. Okay. That's good, but stop scan in here that... Oh! Вы уверены, что хотите остановить основное сканирование? Launch the base scan. Okay. But first, in Armenian, the question mark should be replaced with full stop. There we go. The exit code formatting is in Armenian also. The buttons where it says resolve are translated. All I need here is to translate the table. Everything here is translated. I have translated the entire scan page. Here is what the scan menu looks like. Here is what the confirmation looks like in this case. It's all translated. Every single one is translated. Let's try the same in Russian. We got a problem here, but the table translation is great. The actions are great. The resolve function is great. It returns Russian. There we go. We have finished the scan page entirely. The scan page here is the hardest. There we go. It is all translated into Armenian. The actions here. There we go. It's all translated into Armenian. The one thing right here is the size. It is now in Armenian. The quarantine page is entirely in Armenian. The translation will take longer because I have much content inside the ClamAV GUI. Finally, after a massive GitHub outage and some constraints, I have managed to translate the entire UI of the ClamAV GUI. Here's what the GUI entirely looks like in Armenian. This needs to be translated. Oh my. The splash screen is also translated. Okay. Yeah, that is kinda like an error. And this is the about page, where the credits is also translated. And this is a translation credit. If you want to translate it, make sure to go to the about JSON and write translated by and credit yourself. Okay, it is exported. There we go. Yes! These messages are translated. But instead of console error, let's try passing them as description error. Now I have few instances of console error. There we go. The error messages here are translated. There we go. The notifications are in Armenian. It works. The notifications are in Russian. Yes, the notifications here are translated. Here it brings the no ClamAV page, but the wording here is slightly improved. Okay, this is the same no ClamAV page in Armenian. I am sometimes skeptical about this part. The Armenian translation looks pretty good, but what is missing here is the padding. It fixed. I have added the language selector just in case. Here is what the ClamAV page looks like in Russian, in English, and on Armenian. I might add the quick access to feature request and bug report links into right here. Scroll all the way down and click on this. It redirects to the new create new issue where the issue type is bug. If I click on the request feature, it redirects to the new feature request. This project is community driven. Your feedback shapes the future. Let's try Russian. Yes, and that quick access is worth it. This is way better. Yes, all I left here is the backend translation, because here everything is Armenian, but this part is English. Oh my god, what happened? Oh my god, I still cannot get the history. Okay, at least it fixed. I have added the Armenian translation right here. That is great until it doesn't fit the table.
Later.
That's kinda okay. The system tray is a tricky part. The Russian translation works. But what if I use tray open like this? Nope. Of course it works the same. It strictly needs to be cached. Okay, the tooltip is translated. The entire system tray is translated into Russian. The system tray is in Armenian. There we go. I finally initialized the system tray. Okay, this is the error, because in here I got details Type details. What do you mean that approach? Sir, I changed the type, you No, I don't want the discriminated union. I got this, but let's try translating back to English.
Later.
It doesn't even render English, oh my. Yes! Yes! Yes, that's correct. The moment of the truth, guys. Yes! Yes, it is now translated in Armenian. There we go. It all writes the same balanced. Okay, it is rendered, but I cannot show the entire details. There we go. I added that action and it works. The entire history page is now translated into many languages. I have a feeling that this might break the app. I don't get any Typescript issues, and yeah, I don't have any new reports. There we go. The icon is right here. Okay, let's disable the real-time scan. The icon was changed to red. If I enable it, the icon was changed to a green checkmark. Translations are used by the backend alongside the sidebar image, the header image, and the installer icon. I have tried ClamAV, it doesn't work. So instead of fooling around the internet and find out a better ClamAV GUI, I built my own. Good news, everybody! The latest build is a success. The ClamAV GUI version 1 is published as a stable release. There we go! After some hard work, the ClamAV GUI is finally released as a stable version. It took 11 pre-releases just to make the successful GUI. The ClamAV GUI is not strong enough to be a way stronger antivirus, but I built the entire GUI to not replace every single antivirus into that GUI only, but to add it as another layer of my security stack. I use the ClamScan engine for signature detection. I use the ClamAV GUI to control the entire ClamAV antivirus, firewall, backups, virtual machine isolation, debloating, proper settings, and that's it. I can add that GUI as another layer of my security stack. This is the installed version of GUI. The new version is available, but okay, I have a problem. What's new? See GitHub release notes. What do you mean? What do you mean, bruh? Failed to update the GUI. Make sure to try again later. Ah. The new version is available, but the thing is, I cannot even download the GUI. Yeah, that's the problem. It says failed to update the GUI, but the problem is I cannot show the error. Download request failed with status 404 not found. Oh my god. Build failing. Oh, that must be cursed.
A few moments later.
That makes sense. Unable to resolve action CLI version 3. This is the first job. The next job is the update JSON.
A little later.
Process completed with exit code 1, which is gh.found. And about the GUI icon, I will propose another fix, because the GUI icon here is invisible. It changes the icon to red, otherwise green. Even though generating the app is a success, generating the JSON file is not. Couldn't open file platforms.json. Oh my god. Generating the update JSON is a success. There we go. VObject? What do you mean VObject? Oh, the tag name is VObject. Check for a new version, okay? There we go. The first stable version, which means I can finally update it. Failed to update the GUI. Make sure to try again later. What is the problem? it just returned with exit code 1 because in here it says not found. It's even worse. It removed it. Oh my god. What are you doing? I am accidentally building the version 0.9.9. I forgot to change it back. I got that shit again, okay. Here I got not found on Windows, but it works on everything else. It automatically uploads latest.json. There we go. That is not how it works. Yes! Yes! If I knew that, I wouldn't have created the step of manually creating latest.json. And with that, I finally created a stable workflow. Let's publish it as the latest release. There we go. Okay, update it, please. And if I go now the settings will work. The GUI is up to date. Yes! I finally finished the updater state. And after clearing the cache from local app data, the entire GUI works. If you are using the ClamAV GUI and you found a bug, let me know by going into the About page, click on the Report a Bug button, and create a new bug report as a GitHub issue. And with that, I have finally created the ClamAV GUI. That is it, guys. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe. Join my Patreon, bookmark the blog page, start the ClamAV GUI repository, stay safe and have a nice day.